And I wouldn't rule out some sort of a shock. Somebody traded for Kyler Murray. I wouldn't rule that out.
Love being out here at Super Bowl Radio Row. Talk to Chris Sims, his co-host.
Oh, good
PFT
Lord.
Live. Yeah, nothing but nice
sorry you had to
say.
deal with him. I'm sure you did. No, I love Chris like a brother, and I hate Chris like a brother.
There you go. It's family, right? Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. Where do we feel the Arizona Cardinals are now going into year 3 under Monty Osborne?
Yeah, great question. There were moments of potential contention this year. It wasn't sufficiently consistent enough. You wonder what the future is with Kyler Murray. You wonder if he would like at some point a fresh start. You just wonder where it all is. So many changes in the organization above the quarterback. And at what point do you ask yourself, do we need to go in a different direction? Just a reset. Sometimes everybody needs a fresh start, and there's no one to blame for it. But it just kind of feels like they're sluggish right now, trying to find an identity, trying to find their way back into a path where they can get to the postseason. I can't remember, what was it, 2021 was that the last
2021, it was a disaster.
The wild card
right?
round, yeah.
It was not
Sometimes
pretty.
it's better to not make the playoffs at all.
Right,
than to make the playoffs and get blown out.
It was the beginning and the end of Kingsbury and Keim, and now they pivoted to Austin Fort. And do you feel like the feeling is like divorce is inevitable as far as that?
I just think that it's on the table, and I think this year is going to go a long way toward determining whether or not it happens. And I wouldn't rule out some sort of a shock. Somebody traded for Kyler Murray. I wouldn't rule that out. I'm not saying, I'm not reporting it.
It's not inside information.
The things where you're looking for where's the big story going to come from. Myles Garrett demanding a trade. You just never know what's going to happen. If the Cardinals get an offer that they won't refuse, it could happen. I don't know what the cap consequences would be, but I feel like it's just at least on the radar screen that this, 2019, you could argue it's run its course. You could argue we've seen it go as far as it can. Quarterback's the most important position on the field. There could be a point where the Cardinals decide they're going to go in a different direction. And I think this season, will go a long way toward deciding whether it's player, whether it's team, whether both want to continue this.
I feel though and you have a relationship with different fan bases, right? You embrace that on PFT Live all the time, and you just try to shoot straight, right? And,
right.
The Cardinals and you have had your moments. And as far as you at their bye week, then you tweet out or you either said it I missed watching this Cardinals team play this past weekend. As much as volatile as maybe the quarterback position could be, there is some stabilization going on as far as the new direction and the regime.
I hope so. Look, dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. That's one of Big Cat's statements that I use all the time. And the dysfunction begins at the top of the organization. And there's a reason why bad teams stay bad and good teams stay good. The league is set up, in theory, for everyone to win a Super Bowl once every 32 years. But we see it doesn't work that way. And there's this cluster of teams that runs the league, and there's this cluster of teams that you never have to worry about. And the Cardinals traditionally are far closer to the cluster of teams that you don't have to worry about. Why is that? It's ownership. That's the common thread. And I know that fans will circle the wagons and they'll get mad at the messenger who says your problems begin at the top of the organization. And I think fans defend the organization and the owner because they're stuck. If there was a way to force Michael Bidwell out, maybe they would try to do it. But as Jed York said, the owner of the 49ers 7 or 8 years ago, you can't fire the owner.
Right.
And that's the problem. And the only way around it, if you're a fan, you've got to deprive yourself of the thing you love in order to send a message. And enough fans have to deprive themselves of the thing they love to send a message that would get the owner to say, you know what, nobody's showing up because I'm the owner, I better sell the team. And it just doesn't happen. It never happens. Bad teams stay bad because of owners, and good teams stay good because of owners and because of quarterbacks, but also owners that don't screw it up when they finally get a good quarterback.
PFT Live, Mike Florio, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.